Guys, welcome to your first lesson in Algebra 2. Today we're going to talk about how can we use PEMDAS to evaluate expressions, combining like terms, and finding LCM. So really quick, let's review. What does PEMDAS mean? P stands for parentheses. E, of course, is exponent. Please fill this in as you go along. M stands for multiplication. D is division. A is addition and subtraction. Notice that addition and subtraction, these are on the same row. It just means that whenever you add and divide, I do whichever comes first from left to right. So let's work an example out. I have 1 plus 8 divided by parentheses, 1 times 2, close parentheses, take away 1. So I'm going to work on PEMDAS. So the first thing that I'm going to do is my parentheses. So I'm going to start by writing everything down that I did not use. So it's 1 plus 8 divide I'm going to work parentheses out. So 1 times 2 is 2, take away 1. 2 take away 1. Let's just make that. There you go. So I have addition, division, and subtraction. If I look down on PEMDAS, I'm going to divide. This actually becomes 1 plus 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4 minus 1. I have addition and subtraction. Notice they're on the same row. So that means I do whichever comes first from left to right. So 1 plus 4 is 5. Take away 1 is 4. That's my final answer. Moving straight ahead, how can we use this to evaluate expressions? So here, I have two examples. I said find the value of k plus 6, parentheses h plus j. Now, I was specific. I said h is equal to -6, j is -2, and k is -1. So what I'm going to do is rewrite this. K is actually -1 plus 6, parentheses, h is -6 plus parentheses. I like to keep the negatives in parentheses. Now that I have this, let's evaluate this. Parentheses first. Rewrite what I'm not going to use. -6 plus -2 is -8. Remember, number in parentheses, this is a multiplication. So I have addition and multiplication. I need to multiply first. -1, bring that down. 6 times -8, that's actually a -48. -1 minus 48, this gives you a -49. Final answer. Let's look at one more example. Z minus x plus y cubed. So let's replace this. Z is 2, take away x is -6, and y is plus 3, everything cubed. This becomes 2, take away -6 plus 3 is actually -3 cubed. -3 cubed, all that means is -3 times -3 times -3. -3 times -3 is a positive 9. This becomes 9 times -3, and this will give me -27. So this becomes 2 take away -27. 2 take away -27 is 29. That's it. Now, I set this up. I want you to try this. Take a minute, try this on your own. A is -6, B is -2, and C is 2. I already set it up, so all we're going to do is take a minute, pause, look at this. This should give you -4 over -4. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Positive 1. Now, this is actually very tricky. Just be careful. It's just the C that's square. That's why I put the 2 in parentheses. So, combining like terms. Like terms have exactly the same number of variable. They have the same number of variables. So, some key vocabulary that we need to talk about is a term. A term is the one part of an expression. So, looking at this example below, an example of a term can be 4x squared, or even x by itself. There are 4 terms. An expression is a term without an equal sign, so everything here is an expression. Just on a side note, remember the difference between an expression and an equation is that an equation has an equal sign, an expression does not. Variable. A variable is a letter that represents an unknown number. So in this example at the bottom, we have two variables. We have x and we have y. So a constant is just a number. That's my next vocab. A constant is a number. Is there any constant here? No. If I had something like, I don't know, let's say plus 6, then 6 would be my constant. It's just a number by itself. And then the last term, which we all should be aware of, is a coefficient. A coefficient is just a number that is in front of the variable. So looking at the example below, we have two coefficients, 4, and let's make that into red so we can see it. So we have 4 and we have 5. Remember, we said we had two variables, x and y, so the numbers, if any, that are in front of the variable, that's my coefficient. Knowing that, let's look at some examples. So the first thing that I need to do is to distribute. This becomes 5w minus 9w squared, 3w, 3 times 3 is 9, w times w is w squared, and this negative times a positive is a negative. This becomes minus 6 times 3 is 18w. So what are my like terms? I like to circle my like terms. I have 5w, 18w. So when I combine these, 5w minus 18w becomes minus 13w minus 9w squared. And that's my final answer. Oh. Let's go to number 2. Remember again, anytime you see parentheses, try to distribute them. This becomes, let's see, what do we have here? This becomes negative 4x squared plus 4x. Negative times a negative is a positive. Remember that invisible one right there, so we can distribute negative plus x minus 5. My like terms again are positive 4x and a positive x. So 4x plus x, excellent, 5x plus 5x minus 5, bam, final answer. The last thing that we're going to talk about today is how do we find these LCM. When you think of LCM, I want you to think of skip, oops, that's a P, skip counting. So all that means I have 6, 5, and 3. It means I'm going to start at 6 and I'm going to count in terms of 6. So let's go 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. 5, this is an easy one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm not going to go anywhere else because I already see that they have something in common. So let's go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and I'm going to continue here, 27, 30. Whoops, I saw that they have something in common. There I have a 30, here I have a 30, here I have a 30. So my LCM of this is 30. Good. Let's try this last one over here. I have 6, 8, and 12. So again, start at 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Let's go with 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, and 12, 24. Whoops, here you go. I see something. 24, 24, 24. Bam. So the LCM of this is 24. What I want you to do now is start working on Portfolio 0.1. You could try this individually or as a group. And make sure you keep this and work on this in your binder.